Hey there, campers. While you get nice and cozy around the fire, I just want to warn you, we are not experts. What we are two people with microphones who love to research and discuss cryptid creatures, and the occasional scary woman who can eat our souls. So if you are currently being attacked by a chupacabra or a jackalope, call somebody else. Also, this show isn't for kids, so if you're a kid listening, please give your iPad back to your parents.
Hey campers, my name is Kimmy and I am here with my co-host Ryan.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Aloreing Daylight Edition.
Hear the birds chirping
Uh-huh,
in the audio? It matches
Uh-huh.
our visuals for the first
Yeah.
time ever.
We got real life bird chirps today. And if you didn't know, we talked about folklore and cryptids from all over the globe, but we've been real specific lately.
We're always pretty specific. And we'll hop right into it. We're during daylight hours, we're nothing but business, apparently.
Yeah, this is a serious show. No post work like weird energies. This is gonna be a bit of a different episode. We're really cracking down.
Yeah, no wolf moans
No,
today.
none. Really much. Well, we'll see.
Serious.
I don't want to
No
make that
thirst
promise.
traps. We're going to be serious.
I might be
this
moaning
episode.
like a wolf. We'll see.
we'll get right into it. Ryan, what did you find? Oh yeah, we didn't even start
Yeah.
on the right slide. Yeah,
No,
we're doing great.
We didn't.
Woo!
It's fine. You didn't see anything.
Alluring in the daylight. Woo!
When I snapped my fingers, you didn't see that last slide. Haha. Perfect.
Ooh, beautiful. What did you find so alluring today,
Well,
Ryan?
Kimmy, as you know, when I was in college, I had a bit of an addiction. That addiction was putting weird flavors into soda. And what fed my addiction was living across the street from a little store that our Utah fans and Real Housewives of Salt Lake fans probably know, called Swig. Well, unfortunately, I recently relapsed because they decided to open one in my town
No,
about
Ryan!
4 minutes away from my work. And it's been a real problem for me, but you know, I'm getting there.
Okay, you know what? We need to get you. Okay, as a friend that wants the best for you and also like wants the best for your health, but also supports your bougie lifestyle. There's like this ninja soda maker that my sister-in-law has.
Yeah.
And I also want this. And it is amazing because you can make every beverage your heart absolutely desires.
It's not the same. I don't know what
It's not the same.
What they put in their sodas at that place. It's just fountain soda with syrup in it. But oh man, it is so like there's other soda shops where I live, but Swig, I don't. Yeah.
She beckons to you like a siren in the night.
Oh man, yeah. I just like I took the wrong exit getting to work, and then I was like, is that a fucking Swig? And it sure was. And
this is the equivalent to Ryan getting lost at sea but waking up to a siren kind of thing.
Yeah.
His lighthouse was Swig.
And she was beautiful, let me tell you.
Absolutely. Someone please draw like Ryan distraught on rocks and looking up and there being just a giant Swig soda can with like holy light behind it. I will probably draw it when I get really tired and drunk at some point tonight when we game.
It felt like I've been trapped in the desert seeking. I've been thirsty for at least, how long did we graduate? 6-7 years ago. I've been thirsty this whole time, and my thirst is finally quenched.
Oh man.
Speaking of thirsty, what did you find alluring this week?
This is why I can't write what my alluring thing is, because I feel like it will just be a little bit of a personal attack. Oh damn. I I have been playing, I'm going to say it wrong, Fields of Mysteria and Love in Deep Space. And your girl love those little life sim dating
Every
sim
time I
games.
turn my computer on and open Steam, Kimmy's just sitting there. Last played like 3 hours ago. What's your play time on that game? It's
A
gotta
Fields
be it's gotta be in the like at least 100 hours. Like it's
and Fields of Mysteria. Ooh, I can look real quick. It's pretty rough, but I know I'm like on year 2. I'm about to hit year 3.
yeah.
I have been going hard on the farm life, making all the cute little farm
That what they're
babies.
calling it these days is farm
Um,
life.
I have 68 hours as of right now.
Which doesn't sound like a lot until you consider that it's only been a couple of weeks. Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
full-time job almost. Like
And you all need to keep in mind, I work full time, and then I'm like doing
you
like
have two full-time jobs now. You have
the
your job
pod.
and Field of Mysteria.
Yeah, I go to work, and then to de stress from work, I come home to work in a virtual farm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's so great because I'm currently pursuing, I can't remember his name right now. And he's a little hot cold, and he reminds me of Edgar, and I love him
He
so
might get
much.
with you if you could remember his name.
Probably.
Guys, we got pretty low standards. Like that's the lowest bar possible is know our names.
No, now I gotta look at bachelors in field. See, you guys have missed the aspect of me and Ryan getting serious in the dating sim part of games. And I know it. March. I should have known that. His name is March. I have been pursuing
And it's
March.
March. Wow. Oh, are you going for like a month thing?
No, he's
No.
just I just like that hot and cold personality because I'm like I want you to only want me, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why. I think it's that red flag desire deep in my soul.
Yeah.
I was pursuing Hayden for a minute, but
Mm,
there's something with the chicken thing. For those who play the game, they get it. It's like his mother, like it's so hard to explain. Pretty much it's like I'm trying to impress his mother, but instead of it's his mom, it's a chicken. It's really weird, and I can't explain it more than that. He like brought a chicken on a date. It was like, this is too much.
he said, "This is my mother."
Well, it's the same energy.
Mm,
It's like those guys that are like, you're dating the mom to like get to the son, and
okay.
it's a lot. Anyway, that's just
Yeah.
my opinion. Very great game. I have been quite enjoying it. What is it? Juniper is also a beautiful. You would go after her. Great game. Spending way too much time on it, and it has consumed every aspect of my life. So that's my Aloreing thing.
If the show's ever late, it's not me this time. It's Kimmy playing Fields of Mysteria.
You can also blame our other friend because me and her take turns playing it for the other person to watch
Yeah.
when we get tired of playing it.
Yeah, our other
'Cause we're
friend will go
pursuing
play
different things.
Minecraft and she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you not streaming Fields of Mysteria?" Like
We take turns. It's
Yeah.
balance. It's a healthy. So we're not playing it too much, you know. So we're still
Yeah,
getting the
combined
medium.
hours, you guys are probably in the 200s easy.
Honestly, honestly, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
great because she's ahead of me. So
Oh.
if I don't know what to do, I just ask her what to do, and then she tells me what to do, so I don't have to spend as much time as her, which is so I'm getting a little bit cheat code mode, but
There
it's
we go.
great. Um anyway, that's my alluring thing. And speaking of spending my limited time doing doing so much. Do you want to tell them the most exciting thing that's happening this
Hell
week?
yeah. So when this episode comes out, that means we are only a couple days away from our first artist market. An
Woo!
in-person one, not like, I mean, I don't know how else you'd have an artist market up at Mountain
Online.
West Cider in Salt Lake. Ooh, yeah. See, that's a lot less moany of a wolf. It's very disappointing. But yeah, no, I think we have all of we're recording this ahead of time, obviously. So at this point, we have all of our artists lined up.
Yes.
Me and Kimmy went through a bunch, and it was really fun. We got a ton of great submissions, so I think there'll definitely be more in the future just based off of the artist interest.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time. Great booths. We're gonna do. I don't know if we're doing a full live show, if we're gonna do a little fun one. I have some ideas. I'm sure by the time this episode comes out, we'll know what we're gonna do. But keep an eye out for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
yeah,
recording way in advance. So when
yeah,
you guys hear this episode, we will have this already. At
yeah,
this point in time,
yeah,
not at all.
yeah. But it's fine. This is how podcasts work. Don't let them lie to you and say like, "Oh, today only." Like, no,
Lies.
it's March. Like,
Early March.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'm super hyped for it. I don't have like all the details because again, it's March. But yeah, be there if you're in the Salt Lake area. If not, I mean, Southwest Airlines or Spirit Airlines, they're cheap as hell. Just fly. Like, come on. Like,
Come say hi. You get
yeah,
to meet me and you get to meet Ryan.
hell yeah.
Two of us in the same
The
space.
same space at the same time.
When does that happen?
Yeah.
And we are co-hosting this event with the most wonderful people at Mountain West Cider, which I still don't know how that happened, but it's happening. So come check it out. Come drink their beverages because I adore them and they are super lovely people. They support LGBT all that plus. So we are here for it. We love it. We love everything about it and they're just like super amazing. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's a great time. It's going to be lots of fun. We'll have music, we'll have hourly giveaways. I feel like there's like two things I'm forgetting. There's going to be a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
And
want
there
to
will
say what
be
it is.
cider because it's at
Yes.
a what is this? Is it called a cidery? Like, what do they call? Like, I know a brewery. But
I don't
what is a place that makes cider called? Is it still a brewery?
I would
Whatever it
say
is,
it's still
I'm sure they'll tell us.
we'll figure it out. It will be in the
But
marketing
yeah,
post, but
Mountain West Cider, April 26th.
it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, it's free. It's 21 plus for this, but if it's really popular, who knows what could happen in
Yeah,
the future. So
yeah. Get a
come check it out.
babysitter, like it's
Yeah,
fine.
date
Like, yeah,
night.
yeah.
So anyway, that's date night in Utah. Um speaking of Utah,
Oh, yeah. Easy transition.
easy. Let's cue those campfire sounds.
Oh, ooh.
I got rid of the wolf moan, and Ryan
Bring
wants
it
the
back.
wolf moan.
I'd like for you to replace the wolf moan with just me doing it, and I think
Oh,
it would be. I'll send you a
easy.
file.
We need to honestly spend a day where you make some sound effects,
Yeah,
like
I got
because
one. I got one in me. I could
you're
do the
like
crunching sounds of like.
that's,
Start the show.
yeah
That was the sounds. Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna clip that for later. You forget our audio's separate. I can clip anything you say individually.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Really didn't
Yeah.
consider that, to be fully honest with you.
Life is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, beautiful Bear Lake,
Hmm.
sometimes referred to as the Caribbeans of the Rocky, is known for its intense turquoise blue waters and is one of the most popular lakes located in the U.S. connecting Utah and Idaho. This iconic swimming spot is known to draw in a crowd of boaters, fishers, raspberry shake lovers, and hikers every summer season. But what if I told you past all the boat parties and long days out on the vibrant waters, there is a creature? No, a beast, who is known to swim at great speeds, flip boats, and even chase a few people down. Of course, this nautical beast isn't always causing havoc, but if you are out on the lake while the sun is setting, be warned you may be unlucky enough to encounter this creature firsthand.
All right, Kimmy. If this is not a actual beast, I'm going to be so disappointed because every time we've called something a beast on this show, it's just been a little guy. So I'm putting a lot of faith in you right now.
It's okay.
All right.
But you need to put as much faith in me as the Mormon Church puts in this creature, and I want you to just
Oh,
hold on to that
interesting.
statement. Just
Okay.
hold on to it, just right there, just right there. All of our audio listeners, lovely, beautiful, magnificent, sensational, all the words Lady Gaga uses to describe all of the beautiful people in her life. Head over to our YouTube or head over to aloreing.com and check out this week's illustration. This week we'll be talking about the water raging bear lake monster. This was fun to draw. I quite enjoy. You will understand why it says lake water in quotations. It's
Mm.
to hint that maybe there is some alcoholic substance
Oh,
taking play here, which will make sense as the story goes
in
on.
Utah and Idaho. No way.
Yeah, which this was very fun. This healed a part of the religious trauma I went through at 13.
Oh,
So
okay.
blessed be the saints. So I quite enjoyed this illustration. Again, website, blog, check out our Instagram. Go look at the picture. Go check out our shop. Get these stickers.
Yeah, do it
Enjoy
all.
the art or make your own creation. Feel inspired. All that stuff. So, this nautical cryptid, also known as Utah's version of the Loch Ness Monster, has been a part of American folklore since the late 18th century and finds its way floating in and out of popularity to this very day. So, what are the origins of the Bear Lake Monster? So, also known as Isabel, it has been around as long as the Great Salt Lake has been formed, which could be around 11,000 years ago. So, though there is no way to prove that this creature has been around for centuries, we do know that the first written account of the mythical water monster was recorded in 1868. So, an early settler and writer in Utah by the name of John C. Rich wrote of the legends of the Bear Lake Monster in the Desert News, and this is what he had to report. So he said, and quote, "The Indians say there is a monster animal that lives in the lake that has captured and carried away Indians while in the lake swimming, but they say it has not been seen by them for many years, not since the buffalo inhabited the valley. They represented it as being of the serpent kind, but having legs about 18 inches long on which they sometimes crawl out of the water a short distance on the shore. They also say it spits water upwards out of its mouth." I don't feel like I'm doing the voice right. Do you want to do the voice?
Since the settlement of this valley, several persons have reported seeing a huge animal of some kind that they could not describe, but such persons have generally been alone when they saw it, and little credence has been attached to the monster. Until the summer, the monster questions had about died out. About 3 weeks ago, Mr. S.M. Johnson, who lives in the east side of the lake at the place called South Eden, was going to the Round Valley settlement, 6 miles to the south of this place, and when about halfway, he saw something in the lake, which at the time he thought to be a drowned person. The road being some distance from the water's edge, he rode to the bench, and as the waves were running pretty high, he thought it would soon wash into shore. In a few minutes, 2 or 3 feet of some kind of animal he had never seen raised out of the water.
Thank you. I just feel like you can do voices, and
I
I'm just
took
not
a lot of drugs before I wrote this article.
flying high as a kite.
I had a sore throat, so they gave me cocaine.
That's where the best writing comes from. When you popped a few pills. Cocaine and whiskey, my man. This is why we're E for explicit, everybody. So these early sightings of the settlers, combined with cautionary tales told by the Native Americans and even articles in the Deseret News, it wasn't long until the Bear Lake Monster became quite the buzz. Even the leaders of a local religious group found themselves showing interest in the water beast.
I
Well,
just not really anything to do with the story, but Deseret has always thrown me off so long. When I first moved to Utah, I was like, why is everyone saying desert so weird? And I
yeah.
didn't realize that it was its own thing.
Yeah, Deseret News, like, we're not going to super go into it, but
No,
it's
it just was weird to me.
yeah, it's now pretty much now it's like the news of the church is a good way to
Yeah,
know it now. And peculiar, interesting.
it's a word
It
for
is
it.
what it is.
Yeah.
That's it. Um, they scare me, so I don't want to say a lot. So leaders of the LDS Church would visit the Bear Lake Valley, stating that they quote had a conversation with Brother Charles C. Rich and other brethren from Bear Lake Valley, respecting the monster which had been seen in the lake, end quote, and found that they declared that the testimony had been given by so many individuals who had seen the creature in so many places and under a variety of circumstances that
Mm,
the locals consider to be the story to be indisputable.
there it is. It's real.
So, though the church seemed all gun ho and pro Bear Lake Monster, news stations were more anti Bear Lake Monster. Okay, so
Mm.
so the church is like, I believe in the monster. The news is like, no fucking way. And locals are like, I believe in the monster. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Got
that's
it.
where we're at right now.
Okay.
So, Desert News continue to publish articles now speculating the monster's credibility. One Desert News article from July 1877 titled Quite Fishy
That's awesome.
made, fun, made fun of the cryptid and lore surrounding it by saying, the fact is we prefer to take the whole story with a few grains of salt. That's good writing.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, they knew what they were doing in 1877. You know, good puns, timeless.
You could, that's what I'm saying. Ryan, there's a reason I put puns in this podcast. It will
Hmm.
never go old. The aliens will be hearing it from centuries from now and will be like, this is where the money's at.
Humans will have reached other galaxies, still making puns.
That's what I'm saying. The groans of disappointment from you will be laughter in centuries from now. So the Salt Lake Tribune even suggested that it attacked others and that it was a water devil.
Hmm.
It would go as far as saying that the monster was, quote, the twin brother to the devil and cousin to Brigham, end quote.
Whoa.
So whether the Bear Lake Monster was real or quote unquote fake news, over the next 20 years between the late 1860s to late 1890s, the Bear Lake Monster found its way in rivers and lakes throughout different Utah territories. This made many locals question if there was some type of underground channels connecting the Great Salt Lake and other waterways to Bear Lake.
Mm.
This would explain the similar Bear Lake Monster sightings throughout northern Utah and how the monster was seen throughout the state. So, now jumping to 1894. The sighting of the Bear Lake Monster from John W. and his brother in law became one of the most famous and detailed descriptions of the creature and caused it to grow in popularity in the public eye. This sighting generated significant local interest, and soon many others began reporting similar encounters. This became the key event that solidified the Bear Lake Monster in the public's mind. This helped establish the legend as part of local folklore. But just as the Bear Lake Monster, also known as Isabel, was becoming a pop sensation, early LDS settlers started to retract their encounter with the beast. So they used to be pro, and now they're like, oh, no. We don't actually believe
Flip-floppers.
in it. Right. So they're like, just kidding. So, for example, Joseph C. Rich admitted 26 years after his article about the water monster that was published, it was nothing more than, quote, world wonderful first class lie, end quote. So, the LDS Church has shifted from pro beast to what beast and encouraged its members to do the same. And as a result, it seemed that the interest of this creature slowly died down. So, it would
It's
be
a real
touch and
shame.
go. Yeah, it's so we just completely flipped.
Just when I thought this Joseph Rich was a good guy, you know?
Yeah. 26 years later, man, what a shame. It would be touch and go for this cryptid's popularity for a few centuries after all these withdrawn statements came forward. There would be renewed interest in the beast again in the 1920s when some local tourists reported first-hand encounters, but they were so minor it quickly died down again by the 1930s. Then, in 1960s, interest would reignite due to the global fascination with the creatures like the Loch Ness Monster. More people found themselves on Bear Lake in hopes of seeing it firsthand, and several local residents and tourists began to report seeing large, mysterious shapes in the Bear Lake once again. Some even reported seeing a creature that resembled the descriptions of the 1894 sighting with long humps emerging from the water. So everyone wanted Nessie, but they couldn't go see Nessie, so they went to Bear Lake in hopes of seeing the Nessie.
That's fair, you know?
Yeah, so great value Nessie, you know, you do what you can.
Yeah.
In 1965, the Salt Lake Tribune even ran a pro Bear Lake monster article. Oh, how the times have changed. Bringing the legend,
you know, really flip-flopping.
Yeah, so it's like one's for it and the other's against, and then they flip it. And it's just the balance of the universe, I guess.
There's a metaphor in there somewhere.
If you look close enough, there's a metaphor in there. This article interviewed several witnesses who claimed to have seen the creature, causing buzz to spike around the monster's history once more. Since then, there has been occasional sightings of old Isabel every other decade, but today this legend is considered to be a tourist attraction more than a fearful monster, and the last known sighting took place in 2002. Though the Bear Lake Monster has been dormant for years, the creature is believed to still be resting under the Great Salt Lake, and many are warned to be cautious and to not disturb its slumber, especially around sunset. So, now that we know all about the possible origins of Sweet Sweet Isabel, or Chaotic Isabel, I'm going to head over to Ryan to tell us about some sightings.
Alrighty. And our first one, we're going to go back to 1894 with just the most basic name I can think of, John W. Jack.
These are very Utah names.
Yeah.
I need you to understand this.
JJ. So in 1894, on a warm summer day, a man by the name of John W. Jack H. was fishing with his brother-in-law out on Bear Lake. Him and his brother were enjoying just a beautiful summer day with calm waters when suddenly they noticed something unusual just below the surface of the water. At first, it seemed like a faint ripple, maybe a large fish, but the ripples grew into a large wave and the shape of a long, mysterious creature emerged from the water. John described it as having a large serpent-like body, much like a giant snake or eel, and it had several humps break the surface of the water as it moved smoothly and quickly past their boat, causing it to sway back and forth as they tried to make sense of what they just saw. So, big-ass snake.
Yeah, so we got a very, very quick in and out situation. Just
potentially just a very large trout. You have a really large trout.
Really large trout. You heard it here, folks. That's what Ryan said. We got him.
Fast forward to the year of our Lord 1907, Kay Swanson. So, again, late summer day. We have a theme going. Kay Swanson was reining in the boat that he used to ferry tourists across Bear Lake. While securing the anchor, Kay noticed something out of the corner of his eye. At first, he thought it was nothing more than some discarded ski poles floating in the water. That's so oddly specific. That was until they quickly shifted. He felt his body tense as he soon realized he wasn't looking at some floating object in the water, but a type of large creature lurking just beneath the lake's surface. As he tried to focus more on what the creature was, there was a huge jolt underneath him. The creature had attempted to quickly pass under the boat, but misjudged the distance and heaved both Kay and his boat clean out of the water and made a quick escape. Well, that's just an assumption that he misjudged the distance and just didn't intentionally heave the key in the boat. Just saying. Shaking as the boat landed back in the water, the poor ferry captain could only recall a few features of the creature. It had bloodshot red eyes, slimy serpent, jade green skin, and let out a huge bellow before vanishing into the lake. Maybe he was apologizing.
He's like, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, shit, I really misjudged that distance.
It's like, I thought you were dinner. That's my
Yeah.
bad, man. We cool.
Yeah,
We
we're
coolin'.
good. He quickly pulled his boat into the dock and tied it up, quickly checked on his boat, and got the hell out of there. He immediately left, physically unharmed but mentally scarred by the unknown creature that had almost made him go overboard into a lake. Dun, dun, dun.
Why you wear your life jackets, people?
Yeah. All right. 2002. Brian Hershey, I believe. So, one night, 2002, again, late summer, Brian Hershey, a Bear Lake business owner, saw the monster firsthand while anchoring his large pontoon boat. After throwing the anchor into the lake, he saw two humps in the water, about 100 yards from the boat. At first, they looked like, again, water skis. But, oh no, sorry, the last one was like, not water skis. What did we say the last one was? The last one was ski poles. This one's water skis. Very different. But upon closer inspection, they quickly disappeared into the water, and a large wave lifted the boat up. An uneasy feeling brushed over Brian as everything became silent. Then a serpent-like creature suddenly shot up out of the water. All he could see was some type of large sea monster with dark, slimy green skin and beet red eyes breaking the water surface. It made a loud roar, bull-like sound, and dived back into the lake before taking off, never to be seen again. Again, Brian's just terrified and debated on whether he should tell his experience to others so that they didn't think he was, crazy and spent too much time on the lake. But after a year of thinking, he decided, you know what? I'm going to break my silence, and reported it to the Casper Star Tribune. But once the story came out, many, as he said, thought he was crazy. And while trying to recount his 2-year-old sighting in the Salt Lake newspaper on Memorial Day weekend, the start of the summer tour season, but Brian swears that his publicity stunt and swears it wasn't a publicity stunt and says the following: once you've seen your monster, you really don't care what other people say. And that's that.
Yeah.
So they all described it exactly the same. So it's got that going for it.
That's true. And yeah, and the only thing with like that last one is I feel, and maybe it's because of how I have experienced trauma, I have written down trauma I have experienced.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I was to see a monster in a lake, the first thing I would do is go home and write and or draw what I've seen.
Yeah.
Much like
our
the
last story. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to like process what has happened,
Mm-hmm.
But the fact like you wouldn't do anything with that and then 2 years
he had to think on it for 2 years. Well, no, he had to think on it for a year, and then 2 years later, then he finally, told the newspaper.
So that's the fishy thing with that. See, I have the soundboard, so you can't press the cricket sound.
Yeah, I can't make a cricket sound. Cricket, cricket, cricket.
I'll play it for you. I deserve that.
Thank you.
All right. Those are our sightings. Yeah, they're consistent. Same time of year, same days.
Yeah, late summer, green slimy, red eyes, snake-like thing that looks like some sort of ski, whether it be a jet ski or a snow ski.
And it's in and out of there pretty quick,
Yeah.
So.
And he's not hurting anyone. He's just accidentally bumping into stuff.
That's true. It could just be really, what's it called? Like when you there's a name for it. Like
it's clumsy.
It's just a clumsy little guy.
Look, once you reach a certain size, sometimes you bump into stuff, and it's not your fault. It just happens.
Listen, that's me during my menstrual phase. I'm just hitting everything.
Just bumping into stuff, yeah.
Every wall, every table.
It just pisses you off a little more each time.
I don't even move anything. It's just everything's an obstacle at that point. All right. Speaking of obstacles, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Where's that walkie-talkie sound? You need to do it like a little longer so I can clip it. Yeah, I'm saving that 1,000%. Thanks, Ryan. Um, when you get married, oh, that's what I'm playing back during when we get to speak at your wedding. I'm like, I would like to start off with a quick transition, and I'm gonna play that sound effect.
Here's Ryan wolf moaning for 15 seconds.
To set the mood. And whoever you marry, I know she will be the chillest gem ever. Will cackle at it, being like, yeah, that checks out. Anyway, welcome back,
She'll be
Embers.
like, yeah, I've heard that sound. Don't worry.
She's like, yeah.
This is nothing new.
Nothing new. Welcome back, campers. We hope you enjoyed that little break and Ryan's wolf moaning, because apparently when I take it off the soundboard after his request, he wants it back. So I can't win, is what we've learned. So I'm going to put his
Sometimes stuff
moaning
grows
back.
on you, you know?
It just beckons to you in the night is what happens. We are now going to talk about the Bear Lake Monster's characteristics and some interesting tidbits associated with this nautical cryptid. Appearance-wise, you are now going to learn about the size of this boy. Okay, you ready?
Right. Mm-hmm.
The Bear Lake Monster takes on a more serpent-like appearance, okay? This long and slender body of this cryptid is anywhere from 40 to 50 feet.
Okay, that's not bad. See, that's a beast. I was really afraid you were going to go inches or millimeters.
This ain't no beast of Buzzcow.
No, that's a beast. That's a beast.
This is a beast. And it's Bear Lake Monster. It doesn't even have beast in the name.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. It knows what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be compensated for the name. You know?
Exactly. If anything, it's undercompensating.
Bear Lake Beast would have gone really hard, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Your next D&D monster, for all those out there.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Use it.
And this includes the tail. So this is the full
naturally.
Length. Yeah. It resembles either a large snake or giant eel, as we've kind of learned. Its body color ranges in shades of murky black, brown, or dark green, especially under the water. Bear Lake's water, it's a little bit more murky. It's like it says it's turquoise and pretty, but some spots not so much.
Yeah.
There have been few reports that the creature is a light cream color when it breaches the water surface. I don't know who's saying that. I highly doubt it. As it moves through the water, it curves to gain speed, which can explain the humps people will see sometimes as it breaks the water surface. It has thick, stubby trunk-like flippers, and they are located near its tail, and they're about 18 inches long. Good for him. Body-wise, yeah, he hung. Body-wise, this creature is very similar to the Loch Ness Monster, and some describe it as the Utah version of Nessie.
Maybe Nessie is the Scotland version of the Bear Lake Monster. Anyone consider that?
Have you ever thought about that?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I love Nessie. Nessie has a very special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't override sweet Nessie to me.
Well, we'll see.
Moving to the head, there's no romance novels about the Bear Lake Monster, first of all. So let's start there. Once that happens, we can reevaluate.
Okay. You heard
and
it here.
Nessie's like sweet mother water spirit, and I wouldn't want that for her. She's just here to protect anyone. Anyway, I digress. Moving to the head, this creature resembles a crocodile, alligator, or dragon.
Nice.
So it's more narrow and has large glowing eyes that glow bright yellow, orange, or beet red. Personality-wise, the Bear Lake Monster is very mysterious and an elusive creature. Some stories say that it is more of an aggressive cryptid that terrorizes anyone on the lake. I said that really weird. Some stories say that it's more of an aggressive cryptid that likes to terrorize anyone on the lake. Other accounts say that the Bear Lake monster is more playful and curious and prefers watching from afar and will swim away when scared, hence the flipping boats. So, overall, we got just a beautiful mystery in the water, which
Yeah.
I always love, you know? Now, on to tidbits. Ah, this is my favorite part. This is why I chose this episode topic. So Ryan, oh Ryan,
Oh boy.
why would the LDS church leaders, once such strong believers and supporters of the Bear Lake monster, now be so gun-ho about retracting any statements about their belief in the mystical water beast?
What could it be?
Oh, what could it be? Well, that's because of liquor, my good friend.
What? No, actually, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. What?
Oh yeah, no, this is good. Buckle up, everybody.
All
If you're in
right.
your car, double buckle. Click
Yeah,
click
yeah.
that in
Take your
twice.
passenger seat and buckle it all the way across. Yeah.
Yeah, double buckle that up. So when
Mm-hmm.
the LDS Church was first founded in the West Coast, drinking alcohol wasn't a no-no in the religion like it is today. It wasn't until 1833 when the LDS Church created the Words of Wisdom, which is essentially their codes of health, and which is actually a good thing. It helps promote a healthy body, mind, and spirit. So this list includes eating nutritional food, getting rest, basic hygiene, and prohibition, so drinking alcohol, and so limiting like how much you drink and not doing drugs. So, though this was something new and now part of the church's belief system, it doesn't mean everyone immediately took it to heart. Things take time, lots of time. Members were still getting drunk and enjoying a good old smoke well into 1851 when they were reminded once more to follow the words of wisdom from their church leaders, Brigham Young at the time. Of course, people took it more seriously than others and started swapping alcohol for more healthy options. But others still couldn't stop sipping on that moonshine or enjoy a nice drag after a long day's work.
Valid.
You get it. I get
Mm-hmm.
it.
Been there.
Um, this led to there being drunk members roaming around Bear Lake during
Oh.
peak Bear Lake monster
Oh.
sightings at the start of the Bear Lake monster legend. Ah, see how it's all coming together?
Mm-hmm.
The red strings are connecting. This also meant there was a high chance that these so called creature encounters were nothing more than highly intoxicated members using the Lord's name to say they saw something that could have just been a drunken blur and not actual truth. Uh, the LDS Church did not want.
Famously, alcohol does make you hallucinate giant sea monsters. Like,
Yeah,
I know
that's
when I drink, I have to close all my windows, or else I'm gonna just see a sea monster
yeah,
swimming
that's
out in the road.
that's when the sirens get me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3 sips into a Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Woo!
Whoa.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So the LDS Church did not want any of this, and being associated with drunken members hooting and hollering about a mystical beast roaming in the waters of Bear Lake while using the Lord's name, well, because branding wise, it just wasn't a good look. So call it divine intervention or branding concerns. In 1921, the Lord, quote unquote, called upon President Resident Herbert J. Grant to call on all saints to live by the words of wisdom, to the letter by the complete abstaining of all alcohol, coffee, tea, and tobacco. So there was no more slaps on the wrist. So it's like as a Catholic wicked, it's like,
Mhm.
don't swear, but you get like a slap on the wrist if
Yeah.
you do. You know, you go in your box and you say you're
Mm-hmm.
sorry, you light your candle, kind of thing. But they were like, no more. We will not be okay with that. So
Yeah.
members started to now take it seriously in 1930, and this is when the sightings of the Bear Lake monster had suddenly declined.
Hmm.
So
Convenient.
very convenient.
Yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
swig does not make you hallucinate sea monsters, is what I'm hearing.
Ryan
That's
really
good.
loves swig. If we are learning anything
Yeah.
today, it's Ryan would risk it all for a woman
Yeah.
named Swig.
Look, it doesn't make you see the Bear Lake Monster is all I'm saying.
If we've learned anything today. So, in that short time when the church was very pro Lake Monster, they did want to see if it was real, though. And they went as far as trying to get their own supplies together and do some good old monster hunting.
Nice.
So, we're going back to the good old times. So, in the late 1860s, Brigham Young, the LDS president at the time, wanted to know if the beast was an honest tale of a serpent or a fishy story, and thought the best way was to take matters into his own hands. So, he and a few other church leaders ended up sending a large rope to a group of locals in Paris, Idaho, to help aid them in capturing the monster. So, by his own hands, it's helping fund other people to do work, right?
Yeah. I'm going to do this myself. Here's a rope. Go
Yep.
catch that monster.
That's exactly what it is. So don't think he was out there doing doing this blue collar work. He's like, no. You go.
I own a rope.
Here you go. You'll do great. But Brigham Young and the LDS Church weren't the only ones interested in capturing this mysterious creature. One local resident proposed using a large baited hook attached to a 20-foot cable and a 300 yards of rope. From the buoy, 100 yards of the rope would be extended to a tree on shore. When captured, it would hope that the monster could be exploited from its wondrous proportions. So pretty much, just think the rope is like flinging upwards.
A giant fishing pole.
Yes, just whoop.
Yeah, using a tree instead of a fishing pole.
Yeah, that was just the really fancy way they had written that I put in here for some reason. So when captured, they would show it off. The local resident wanted to do this in hopes of becoming famous and competing with the famous P.T. Barnum, an American showman at the time.
That's like the circus, like the Barnum Circus, yeah.
I always say his name without any enthusiasm because
it's fair.
What we know now.
Yeah. Back in the time though, yeah.
He was like the ladies loved him, everyone loved everything about him, and it was
touring the world with his exploited animals and
yeah, so that's why I sometimes say his name with a lot of disdain in my mouth.
Fair.
So, alas, no one was ever able to capture this nautical beast, and the legends of it continue to elude everyone who crossed its path. But now, if you are wanting to try to hunt down good old Isabel, or just see for yourself if you can find this beast firsthand, may I suggest a good old Aloreing tourist destination? So the annual Bear Lake Monster Winterfest is an event that lasts for 3 days in honor of this mystical lake monster. So tourists gather to celebrate the legend of this creature, share stories, sightings, and even participate in a collection of monster-themed activities. And by monster-themed, I mean they literally put like monster part of every activity they have. So they had like monster chili cook-off, monster plunge in the lake, monster cardboard boat racing. Like every activity
drinking,
was like
monster walking.
Yep. They were like, let's just throw monster in there.
And come to the monster hot dog tent.
Yep, that's it. Which, listen, good. That's our marketing.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a pretty good tent. Like,
listen, I get it. Because our business name's Aloreing. So as long as we put Aloreing in front of anything, like we could do like we could do Aloreing cook-off. We can head to the Aloreing destination, head to the Aloreing Winterfest, head to the Aloreing Summerfest, like anything.
The Aloreing Monster Winterfest.
Done.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, right? Yeah. They clearly have not caught the monster, right, during this Winterfest, because they're stupid. Every story we've had says the Bear Lake Monster comes out in late summer, and they're doing this in the winter. So I propose a Bear Lake Monster late summer fest, and we'll catch it on the first try. Like, I don't know. What the
I
hell are they
don't
thinking?
I don't have a clapping sound. I'll do the
We don't need
Polaroid.
it. Everyone's clapping for me. Yeah.
Got him. Got
All
him
of our
right
listeners were thinking the same thing, obviously.
there. The rebrand,
Yeah.
Winterfest, fun. You guys got to shift the season. That's
Yeah.
all you need
You're
to do.
never going to catch the Bear Lake Monster in winter. That's just not how any of this works.
Based off the history.
Yeah, based off every story. Fake fans, honestly. I'm just going to say it. Fake fans.
Fake fans. Going in winter? Do you even know the lore?
Yeah, it's like you don't even know the lore of your state's cryptid.
We just show up as we show up with our fedoras. Do you even know the lore?
Actually, the Bear Lake Monster's only ever been sighted in the summer, in the late summer specifically.
My only request is when we show up in a little rowboat.
Yeah.
With our fedoras. It just feels
of course,
fitting.
yeah.
Because we're not going to get flipped because it doesn't show up during the winter.
It doesn't show up during the winter.
So we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we could go. Maybe that's why they do it in the winters. They're trying to protect the people who are building cardboard boats.
That's true. Maybe they're actually 3 steps ahead of us.
All right, I misjudged. I take it back. They're just looking out for their customers.
We're going to get a very long worded email with their safety form. And there's a paragraph of why they do it during the winter. It's like, by the way, we do this to prevent any harm from the Bear Lake Monster. Mm-hmm. Based off history. We're like, okay.
Well, get ready for a competing festival. And ours is going to be earlier in the year. So take that.
And if you guys would like to help fund it.
The Bear Lake Monster Aloreing Late Summer Fest.
And then you see all the same people and it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just a different time of year.
It's the same thing. It's the same people. It's just we're somehow part of it, and it's a later part of the year.
We just show up.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a competing thing." It's all a marketing scam.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They're like, "Aren't they just the same people?" We're like, "No, definitely not."
Yeah. It's going to Kroger's instead of Albertsons, it's the same thing.
That's 100%. I'll send them just this clip of the episode. So are you guys in?
Yeah. We're the RC Cola of Winterfest.
Yeah. Well, it'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great. We'll bring cider. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Oh, man.
The Mr. Pibb of Winterfest.
Mr. Pibb.
We only sell off-brand stuff at Winterfest as well, so.
It'll be great. It'll be wonderful.
See y'all there in 2026.
Dream big for us, y'all. It's gonna be great. All right. So, what are we doing? I wasn't able. Another tourist thing about the lake. I wasn't able to find any up-to-date information, but apparently there used to be a Bear Lake Monster tour ride. We can bring this back for our festival.
Yeah, it'll be a part of Summerfest. Don't worry.
But it was a 45-minute scenic cruise on Bear Lake, and you were in a boat shaped like the Bear Lake Monster. Again, I couldn't find any updated information. If you guys are out there, update your website, update your Instagram. Just put all you have to do for people that are not social media.
Maybe they shut down because they weren't seeing the Bear Lake.
Dude, people love the lore. Come on.
Yeah.
And there's so many monsters out on Bear Lake. Talk about Old Briny, Talk about the North Shore.
That's in Salt Lake, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys...
Bear Lake's up further.
Yeah, that's right. Just because I live here and I talk about this stuff doesn't mean I actually know what I'm doing. Just assume.
At some point, it was probably the same body of water. At some point.
One point they touched. You know, just the tips, though, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah. Kept their socks on.
Just 2 dudes sitting in a hot tub. Oh, man. Okay, anyway. Time for my favorite segment of all time. Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ryan. I'm so excited.
I'm ready because introduce your segment.
Yeah, it is time for Is It Science or the Church?
All
I need to
right.
make a sound effect for that.
So
And I don't know where we stand because I can't remember what you got. Did we? No, we didn't do this for
no, this
the
is
state
this is this
episode.
is only the second episode we've been tracking, and I am currently 0-1. But here's the thing: you think that I'm gonna go with what seems like the obvious answer, and it's the church, since you've been talking about Mormonism this entire time. But I'm on to you. I figured you out. I've done some deep psychological analysis. I've been watching your eye movement during this episode, and it's
This is.
definitely science.
I'm so glad you think that because I can't remember what I wrote because this was like 2 weeks ago. So
Oh,
let me see what it is before I tell you. Um, ooh, okay. Well, great news
mm-hmm.
is you did get it right. You want to hear the
Fuck
bad
yeah.
news?
Kinda. Not really.
So psychologically, like when people are like, I have good news, bad news, you want to always kind of say the good news first.
Yeah.
Because the bad news is just like always going to not help.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is you got it right, but the
Yep.
bad news is I didn't anticipate for you to get it right, so I
What?
don't have the good
What
science.
the hell? You last episode you hyped it up so much. You
I
said,
did.
"Oh, I have a good sound, and I'm not gonna play it for you."
I did.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
That is still being workshopped.
Wow.
I didn't anticipate for you to have it at this point.
That's disrespectful, honestly.
So I can either play the science or I have a fairy harp or evil church. I will let you choose.
You know the sound I want. It's a wolf moan, obviously.
I don't have a wolf moan today. Or have the horny bonk amplified.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Which one would you like?
We'll do the horny bonk amplified. Makes me feel a little better.
Does that feel a little better?
Tiny
Do you want to
bit.
hear the fairy harp? It's kind of magical.
I feel like you want to hear the fairy
No,
harp.
it's fine.
And this is actually anyway, let's
go. Okay.
let's get this over with, because now I'm just
I'll make it up to you. Don't worry. We'll be fine. Next time when you get it wrong, I'll just give it to you.
well, that just feels like a cop out.
Oh my god. Well, this week is actually science.
Goddamn right it is.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you.
One for one.
1-1, baby.
1-1.
I'll take it. We can rescind last week's loss, and then that's how you can make up for the lack of celebratory sound.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I'm actually 2-0 now.
With the scoreboard, we can let our fans decide. Maybe
we'll
like
figure something out.
Pie the other person. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Scoreboard.
Anyway, we got science this week, and that's because you are right. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. I did spend 60% of the episode roasting the LDS Church and the connection to the Bear Lake Monster. So I want to shake it up. There are a few theories as to what the Bear Lake Monster could actually be. First is classic, could be floating logs or other debris in the water that creates the illusion of a long serpent under the water. Of course, this won't explain the encounters of it swimming past boats, but it could explain people seeing it from a distance, especially if they're drunk, especially if they're hot, especially if it's been a long day.
They haven't had their swig.
If they haven't had their swig. If you're having your sugar crash, that's what it could look like. The next is it could be some type of misidentified wildlife, such as a surgeonfish or a paddlefish. So both of these animals are big boys. Surgeonfish are roughly the size of an alligator, and paddlefish are roughly 7 feet long. So they're, again, bigger than the beast of Buskow, which, again, surprises me. Both of these aquatic creatures are known to swim pretty fast as well, and with how murky the Bear Lake water is, seeing one of them swim under the surface could spook you into thinking that you may have seen the creature.
Yeah.
So this one, I think, is pretty plausible. And then, finally, the most plausible is that it's a prehistoric creature that's lived in the water for centuries. I'm going to try. The Basilosaurus is a genus. Oh, no, Ryan's laughing. I know I said that wrong. Basilosaurus?
No, it's not. It's just the she has it like written out, like exactly how to say it in our little like script thing we kind of follow. She didn't read it at all.
I did. B-A dot z but low baso dot rus. I'm putting it on. Our YouTubers are saying it right now. Here on it. Basil. How do you say it?
No, I'm not saying you're saying it wrong. It's just how you sound stuff. That was funny to me. I have no idea. Basilosaurus, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is why I do science in the church.
Low saw Russ.
Let me live my life. Basilosaurus.
Kimmy, you're doing so great.
Thank you.
And I'm just being a hater because you didn't play my science sounds. What?
I felt like the bonk from last season was so like bland, so I like amplified it. And it's like very echoey this season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll
I like
workshop it. It's better. I feel like it still needs more. Anyway. The Basilosaurus is a type of large predatory prehistoric archaeosaurus whale from late Eocene, approximately 41.3 to 33.9 million years ago. I don't know if I said half of those words right.
That's an old fish.
It's just an old fish. It most closely resembles the bear-like monster's description with its snake-like appearance and its ability to stand the cold due to the location of where the fossils have been found through the Antarctic. In short, while there are many intriguing stories and occasional reports of sightings, there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of a large unknown monster in Bear Lake. Most explanations rely on known creatures or natural phenomenons that could be misinterpreted, combined with the power of local legend. So, the prehistoric thing makes the most sense. I feel that makes the most sense with just like every Utah aquatic creature.
I looked up the Basilosaurus, and I mean that pretty much fits the description exactly.
That's kind of like the image that we got going on here too, the black and white one. That's like an artist's interpretation of one. And it makes sense. It just hibernates when it gets cold, and it comes out for a little bit when it's warm. Yeah.
That's why it only comes out in the late summer.
Yep.
Once again, checkmate Winterfest. Idiots.
We're just roasting them, and we emailed them. We're like, we have a great marketing idea to get you guys twice as much money, do the festival twice a year, but pretend you're competing with us, but we're not.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we love you guys. XOXO.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's it called when sports? Is there like a name when sports teams do that? Like they pretend to be like enemies, but they're like profiting off of each other, like going to like the
I know in like wrestling it's called like the heel is like the bad guy.
Yeah that's what we're doing.
We're the heels.
We're WWEing it right now.
WWE.
It'll be what's her name? I can't. I'm not going to spiral down WWE. I love it, and I'm not going to drag everyone through that. It will be here for hours.
Yeah. It'll be on our WWE podcast.
Oh man, I would do so much for. Nope, I'm not going to talk about mommy for like the next
Ripley,
40 minutes.
Yeah.
Go to the next slide. Just go to the next slide. All right. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan and I are a little different.
Or you want to go first?
Yeah. So again, it's always Ryan and I will talk about this, and I feel like my opinion always differs after a conversation.
Yeah.
In writing notes, I put it pure chaotic, and I put it like a little bit more towards evil. because it be chasing locals and it be flipping boats.
Okay.
And it
So,
seems
mhm.
intentional.
Okay, so let's do some thinking back to times that we've talked about aquatic creatures that you thought were hot that did the exact same thing, flipping people's boats and chasing locals out. Where did you put those guys?
Well, since I'm editing the video and I don't have the mental capacity
Yeah.
to edit that,
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Sirens, I'm pretty confident were lawful good.
First of all, sirens
Kelpies,
also.
lawful good. Selkies, lawful good. Selkies are a little different, but
First of all you're saying is attractive.
yes. See, that this is what I'm saying. So, but they did the exact same thing that our boy, the Bear Lake Monster, does.
Yeah, but
So
if
what
you're,
makes him evil?
yeah, but if you're hot enough, you can get away with a certain amount of war crimes.
He's a giant. He's a giant. Kimmy, he's a giant eel, basically. I've seen the video games you play. Don't.
No.
I put him as chaotic good.
No.
Because if someone came in my lake, I have the right to flip their boat. And that's his God-given right. Is it a little chaotic how he goes about it? Sure, but it's okay.
Ryan puts a lot of me out on this podcast sometimes. You know, there's times we joke about it, and there's times where people are like, oh, Kimmy and Ryan are just joking. And then sometimes I feel you say something, and it really solidifies it, and I'm like, we can't go back.
That's why we don't live stream anymore. Look, I'm just saying, there's some biases happening here to our boy, the Bear Lake Monster.
I'm just saying.
And I feel like if we were doing a hear me out cake, you'd maybe hear him out.
I would not.
You complimented his 18-inch dorsal fin earlier. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I said he's hung. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. That's a good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Would I want to deal with it? Depends on the day. That's
lawful good. Yeah. Some days he's lawful good. Some days he's chaotic evil.
I'm done. I need to shut up. I can't. I'm sticking. You can't change my mind. I'm sticking. I'm sticking with chaotic. I just think the way he goes about it is a little bit more aggressive than I would care for it to be.
He even apologized in one of the.
No.
He bumped the boat and he went, oh, and that which is Bear Lake Monster for. Oh, my bad, bro. I'm just trying to swim.
Oh man, you're you know. Here's the thing. Now we talk about it, now I feel like he's a good dude.
See,
you know? But
he's just a misunderstood guy.
I have to go with how the show notes were written. You know, that's true to the nature. Like after our conversation, I would lean him a little bit more towards neutral. I'm just saying, but he's not towards evil. He's like a pinch of evil, like a little bit of a dick. Like he would cut you off in traffic, but he wouldn't make you swerve out of the lane.
But then he'd apologize for it afterwards. He's just a bad driver.
He would like nervously duck and wave his hand after he cuts you off.
Yeah, you know? And that doesn't make him evil. That just makes him a bad driver.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Oh man. And he's hung, so that's the problem.
And he's hung, yeah. It's lawful good, like easy.
Go to takeaways. Get out of here. I'm done.
No one's ever hallucinated a sea monster after drinking a delicious swig soda.
Ooh, that's a good.
Please sponsor us.
My sister-in-law's gonna love. And mine is always wear your life vest. Damn it. That's fair. Always. I don't care how good of a swimmer you are. Always wear it.
Yeah. You never know when a hung 18 how long is he 40-foot long sea serpent's gonna knock you out of the water?
40 to 50 feet.
Damn. That's crazy.
We're done. We're done.
We're done. All right.
I'm done. Thank you all for listening. This has been Aloreing.
Go get yourself a tasty little treat, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
And that is all for this episode of Aloreing. Thank you for taking a seat around the campfire and listening. If you want more Aloreing, go check out our website, aloreing.com. That's ALOREING.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. If you have any questions or stories you would like us to discuss, email us at aloreing@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It's the best way to support us. If you want special content not posted anywhere else, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/aloreing and help us keep the fire burning. A special thanks to Lane Hammonds for our music and Chase Gutierrez for our audio effects.